All right, so I'm going to tell you what a futurist is, and I'm also going to tell you that I did not know for the longest time that that's what was going on with me. I actually thought that I just didn't get it. Like, I thought that people just didn't want what I had to offer, and I'll explain to you why. All right, so being a futurist means that I have the ability to look beyond what's happening right now, and I have the uncanny ability to anticipate what's coming next. And this could be 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, sometimes 10 or 20 years down the line. I have been able to predict things and industries and the way things are going to be changing, right? I have a gift where I'm able to recognize emerging trends and challenges and opportunities before most people even know what's going on. Like, they don't even see it, right? And then because I do see that, I'm able to craft innovative strategies to meet those moments. For me, it's not really about predicting the future because, I'm not a fortune teller. It's about actively creating it. So I use this gift to guide my clients and leaders to stay ahead of the curve, right? And I also use this for myself as well, because I move my business. Now I trust my futurist gift enough at this point, because I've had so much evidence, that I move my whole business based upon the predictions I'm able to make. And then I'm able to help my clients and myself stay ahead of the curve. And really, when I see these paradigms shifting, I actually will break them out of the old paradigm first and align them more where the world is heading and position themselves for success in ways that most people haven't even considered yet, because they don't even know that there's a problem. Like, I'm fixing a problem that most people do not even know that it is a problem yet, because they're still in the present moment. And I'm like, oh, I see where we're going. I see what's about to unfold here, and we need to get ahead of it. So it's kind of like leapfrogging. I'm able to leapfrog moments and times and trends and position my clients to take advantage of those trends, but also get ahead of them so that their businesses grow and thrive when maybe others will get taken out. Whether that's through developing intellectual property or redefining business strategies or solving these problems that a lot of industries don't even realize that they have yet, I apply this ability to help others achieve this growth and lasting impact. So it's a very, very cool gift. And like I said, I did not even know that I had it. But it is like the ability to be able to see the big picture. Someone's talking about something and I'm able to zoom out and kind of understand where the world is going and see where it's going, and then zoom back in to guide people towards the strategies and the intentional aligned actions that are going to get the results they want. And that combination of the insight and the strategy is how I'm able to help others create extraordinary results that are far beyond what anyone else can do, right? It's like I'm helping them to shape the future that they want to see. So let me give you a few examples. So the first one is when I was in corporate America, I saw some trends coming down, and I had been hired by a technology company, and the objective was, they weren't exactly clear. The objective was they either wanted to go public or get bought. They hired me to come in and to reposition them and to help them achieve this result. And I kind of saw where the market was going. And I went to the CEO, and I was in my 20s, and I said, this is what we need to do. Like, we need to, it's essentially like cutting the corner of a market. I'm like, this is what we need to do. And he goes, why do you say that? And I had to make something up, because I just knew, because I'm also claircognizant. I knew that that's what we needed to do. And also, I saw the trends coming. And so I was able to give him that advice, but he made it his idea and was able to then pitch it to the board. They took the advice. They got acquired by AOL Time Warner. So that's an example. Another one is when I started my own business, I had already seen this trajectory of it back in 2001 when I started my business. Now I know business and life are not separate. It's the same. They are not separate. What's going on in one world is the same as what's going on in another world, even if it doesn't seem like it. And so I really always wanted to fuse the concept of personal and spiritual development with growth as a leader. And so I wrote a book called The Conscious Entrepreneur in 2004. And I submitted it, but looking back, what it was is I was actually shifting a paradigm. I just didn't know that's what I was doing because I was young and didn't really fully understand everything yet, and I hadn't done as much work as I've done now. But I wrote this book, The Conscious Entrepreneur, and I took it to 79 literary agents, publishing houses, PR firms, like anyone I could get my hands on. 100% of them told me, no one's going to buy this. No, like they want to keep business and life separate, and no one cares about spirituality and business. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, God, it's so weird. I felt really, really strongly about it and really passionate about it. Well, now fast forward 20 years, it's all over the place, right? And it's funny. I actually, when I bought my home and I moved, I found the book proposal, and it's literally on like a word processor typed out. It's the same one as when I could feel the world shifting back after that. Because I abandoned this whole conscious entrepreneur thing because I was like, oh, well, obviously no one wants that. And I started working on one of my flagship programs, Marketing to Millionaires, where I teach entrepreneurs how to market to affluent clients and to sell to affluent clients and serve affluent clients. I knew that the world needed this. And I kind of felt this like pressure, like we need to get this out there now. People need to shift. Because I was looking, I'd already figured out that at that point, I'd been in business at least long enough at that point to kind of be like, I don't know about this coaching industry stuff. Like, I don't know about what they're teaching in the seminars. Like, this all seems really ass backwards to me. And it seems like very hard and very what I call now bottom up, meaning you're going to work way harder because you're not being efficient in the way you're approaching business. And I had a lot of questions. I was still doing it, but I had a lot of questions about it. Growing up in an affluent background, I was like, oh, well, if I could teach people how to market to millionaires, because that's the other thing I figured out, right? Is someone who'd been born and raised affluent, I was like, I don't know what these people are doing, but their service is terrible. And like, they don't really understand how to serve people that have elevated expectations. And I was like, oh, if I could teach them how to do that, that would be great. But I felt this pressure. I was like, and this pressure to like get it out there in the market. So I started working on that, I think in about 2005. And I was like, I got to get it out. And I released it in 2008, right before the economy collapsed. So when a lot of people, unfortunately, were losing their homes, they were losing their businesses, my clients and I were duck. I had had the biggest year to date in business, and my clients were good to go because they were marketing to people that were recession-proof, right? So their businesses were growing in the face of this adversity. And it's kind of the same thing that I anticipated with the breakdown of certain business paradigms. Way before COVID, I was actually trying to revamp unsuccessfully. Again, sometimes the future this thing, it bites me in the butt a little bit because and now I understand, but at the time I didn't always understand. And I was so far ahead of what other people were doing in their industries that when they would tell me like no one wants that, or I don't even know what you're talking about, or no, I don't think you're right. And I would believe them because I was like, oh, all right, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Like this person's super successful, or, maybe they're a billionaire or a multi-millionaire. They've had way more track record than I have, and kind of like bow down to it. And the same thing with teaching women leaders and helping to develop women leaders consciously. I also was told not to do that. But anyways, I knew that the coaching industry had significant flaws. And I also knew, and I could feel it, that a lot of the business paradigms that we have right now are just not sustainable. And this was before COVID. And so when COVID happened, it accelerated everything I already knew was going to happen. But COVID was just an accelerant. And luckily, I had helped my clients before we even got into COVID kind of break free from some of those paradigms. And I was teaching them stuff that they'd never seen before. And I was getting them to think differently and teaching things and talking about things that nobody else in the market was. And that helped all of those entrepreneurs not only survive through that COVID experience, but thrive. And now I've created an entirely new paradigm for what I see coming in the world. So I'm helping leaders harness those technologies now, like AI, to innovate in ways that are not just relevant for today, but revolutionary for tomorrow. And I'll also tell you that I'm working beyond AI because it is going to break everything we know about marketing, and all of the companies that I've developed and everything I'm now doing with my clientele is to survive what will be the fallout from AI. So if you've not adopted AI, get on it, but also you need to look beyond it because it is going to shake up everything we know about marketing and doing business, and not in a good way, in 5 to 10 years. Just wanted to let you, I'll just throw that futurist prediction out there for you. So again, futurist, not just about seeing what's next. It is about really empowering others to step up into beyond their current circumstances with experience and confidence and purpose. So that's just one of the gifts with purchase my clients get when they work with me.